Welcome to the Charity Leaders Exchange CEO interview. I'm Eddie Finch, partner in Buzzacott's charity team. I'm here speaking with Karen Addington, CEO of JDRF UK.
Karen, one of the things about a grant-making charity is that it, especially a fundraising grant-making charity, is that it tends to be a conduit for money out into a broader initiative, in your case, the worldwide sort of research initiative. But at the same time, as we've already discussed, you have a UK strategy and you have an office to feed and all of that. How do you approach the issue of what level of reserves it's right to retain in the organisation rather than flow through into grant making?
So we have what we call a set of strategic principles that each year the budget must fit within all of those strategic principles. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't, it doesn't get approved by the board. But if it does, then we know that we want to grow our research grants year on year, and we commit to doing that. We keep 9 weeks operating costs as a minimum in reserve, which is the reserve required for an organisation this size. We commit to giving a certain percentage of our charitable spend to research and a certain percentage to what's called public education. And we also have targets for our cost to income ratio on our fundraising. So once we've managed to fit a budget into all of those, then we know that we have a balanced budget. Mm-hmm. Of course, we then have to monitor the budget and check that we're adhering to that budget as we go through the financial year. What we tend to do, our year is July-June. So by December, partway through the year, we'll do a really thorough review, ask all the fundraisers to forecast forward to the end of the year. And if things are going well, that's fantastic. If we can see any problems at that point, we still have the opportunity to cut costs or to invest in some other form of income generation to make sure that we meet the original budget. So to my mind, I believe that any money that we can influence into type 1 research in line with our research strategy is money well spent. And that money doesn't have to come from us. So Claire, my Director of Research Advocacy, she will talk to other funding organisations and set up partnerships where we can both fund similar research because it will benefit both conditions, both organisations, and it's a way of leveraging the money that we spend. So let me give you an example. So for example, we are about to launch some clinical fellowships jointly with the MRC, the Medical Research Council. So we will pay half and they will pay half. So we've already doubled our money. And these are clinical fellowships that otherwise wouldn't have happened. And Claire has managed to negotiate with the MRC, along with other colleagues, of course, who've supported that work, so that we will be able to offer a new fellowship that otherwise we wouldn't have been able to afford, and it will get somebody else working in type 1 diabetes research. To my mind, it doesn't matter who's funding the research as long as we get as much research as possible funded.
No, that's fantastic. And within your strategic thinking then, how would you plan for outcomes like that occur outside the organisation? Do they feature in that strategic planning?
They absolutely feature in the strategy, and we have targets against them. I think the challenge is going to be, and I'll look to you when we get to this point, is reporting them, because that won't come through our books, that money. So it won't appear on our bottom line. It'll be money that will go. It'll come from somebody else directly to the research that we want to happen. So somehow we need to find a way of acknowledging that achievement that JDRF has leveraged, which won't appear in our accounts, but it's something that we've helped to make happen.
That's interesting, because I was going to ask you how you plan to do that. So we could go around in a circle. But I think, that is very much part and parcel of impact, isn't it? Broadening on, going on from outcomes to impact in the biggest way. So.